Wait, what if there's no black hole at the center of our galaxy? Okay, so here's something wild to wrap your head around. You know that thing at the center of our galaxy? The big, scary, 4 million solar mass monster we've been calling Sagittarius A star? The one we literally took a photo of in 2022? Yeah, the one that looked like a blurry orange donut that broke the internet? Well, some scientists are now going, hold on, what if that's not actually a black hole? Now, before you throw your phone across the room, stick with me. Because the new research isn't just someone being contrarian on the internet. It's a paper published in February 2026 in one of the most respected astronomy journals on the planet, and it raises a genuinely fascinating question. What if the data we're collecting doesn't quite fit the black hole story anymore? Here's the issue. When researchers look at the stars near the galactic center, they're zipping around like there's some insanely dense point at the middle, totally consistent with a black hole. Fine. But when you zoom out and look at the stars at the far outer edges of the Milky Way, they're slowing down in a way that doesn't match what our standard models predict. It's like watching a merry-go-round where the kids in the middle are spinning fast, as expected, but the kids at the edge are also going faster than physics says they should be. Something's off. The standard fix for this kind of problem has always been dark matter. Specifically, cold dark matter. This theoretical, ghost-like substance that's heavy, sluggish, and basically refuses to interact with anything except gravity. It floats around galaxies in enormous, fluffy halos. And here's the kicker. Because cold dark matter particles just phase through each other like they're not even there, you can't squish them together tightly enough to form anything solid. Try compressing a cloud of this stuff and it just puffs back out, like trying to grab fog. So the new model says, ditch the fog, try something completely different. The researchers swapped out cold dark matter for a specific type of quantum particle called a fermion. And here's where it gets fun, because you actually already know what fermions are. You're made of them. Electrons, protons, neutrons, all fermions. And fermions have this quirky, non-negotiable rule baked into the fabric of the universe called the Pauli exclusion principle. The short version? Two identical fermions absolutely, categorically, under no circumstances can occupy the same quantum state at the same time. Think of it like packing boxes into a shipping container. You can stack them up, fill every corner, but once it's full, it's full. You cannot shove another box in, no matter how hard you try. Fermions are exactly like that. They demand their own personal space, and they will not be budged. Now imagine, at the center of the Milky Way, an absolutely astronomical number of these dark matter fermions all being pulled together by gravity. Gravity squeezes inward. The fermions get packed tighter. The available slots fill up. And then, the Pauli exclusion principle kicks back with what physicists call quantum degeneracy pressure, a powerful outward mechanical force that has nothing to do with heat or temperature. It's literally just quantum physics refusing to let matter be compressed any further. So you end up with this perfect standoff, gravity crushing inward with the weight of 4 million suns, quantum mechanics shoving back just as hard. They cancel each other out. The collapse stops. And what you're left with is a dense, compact, stable ball of quantum particles sitting right at the heart of the galaxy. No singularity, no event horizon, no point of infinite density. Just an ultra-compact sphere of exotic matter doing its thing. Sounds a bit like a black hole, right? That's the genius of it, and also why this is so hard to disprove. There's a well-established principle in physics called the shell theorem, which basically says, if you're outside a perfectly spherical mass, you can't tell the difference between all the mass is a single point and all the mass is spread across a sphere. Gravitationally, they feel identical. So as long as the stars near the galactic center, the famous S stars, like S2, which laps the galactic center every 16 years at a jaw-dropping 8,000 kilometers per second, never actually enter this dark matter sphere, they'd behave exactly as if they were orbiting a black hole. And crucially, the data shows they don't enter it. S-29 made the closest recorded flyby in 2021, coming within about 13 billion kilometers of the center, and nothing weird happened to its orbit. That gives us a maximum size for this hypothetical fermion ball. It has to fit inside that distance, which it does. There are also these strange objects called G-sources, blobs that glow like gas clouds but hold themselves together like stars. G1 and G2 have both made terrifyingly close passes by the galactic center, getting stretched out by the gravity but surviving. When you run the fermionic core model, it reproduces their paths, their distortion, their survival, everything, with remarkable precision. Now, zoom all the way back out to the galactic edges. The ESA Gaia satellite has been mapping stellar positions and velocities with extraordinary precision. What it found in its Data Release 3 catalog is that stars at the outer rim of the Milky Way aren't slowing down the way they should if physics were following its normal playbook. In our solar system, Neptune crawls along compared to Mercury. That's just how orbital mechanics works. The further you are from the center, the slower you go. We call that a Keplerian decline. Spiral galaxies, it turns out, don't behave this way. The stars at the edge aren't slowing down as much as expected. And that discrepancy is exactly what dark matter halos have always been invoked to explain. But here's the twist. The standard cold dark matter models, even when you add the usual diffuse halos, can't simultaneously account for both the tight, fast inner orbits and the stubbornly fast outer ones. The fermionic dark matter model? According to the February 2026 paper by Valentina Crespi and collaborators, it handles both. The dense quantum core explains the galactic center, and the broader distribution of fermionic dark matter explains the outer rotation curve without the usual patchwork of assumptions. Is this the final word? Absolutely not. Science doesn't work like that. But it's a genuinely compelling alternative to the black hole model, one built on real physics, real data, and a surprisingly elegant idea: that the most dramatic object at the center of our galaxy might not be an infinite void, but instead an unimaginably dense ball of quantum particles playing an eternal game of tug-of-war with gravity, which, honestly, is also terrifying, just in a more physicsy way. For decades, the explanation was simple. Enormous, invisible, cold dark matter halos wrapped around galaxies like cosmic bubble wrap, providing the extra gravitational grip to keep those outer stars moving fast. This idea was cemented in the 1970s when astronomer Vera Rubin discovered that spiral galaxies produce flat rotation curves, stars at the edge moving at basically the same speed as stars much closer in. Dark matter halos explain this perfectly, but Gaia's latest data suggests our galaxy might be breaking that rule at its absolute outer boundary. The velocities don't stay flat, they plummet. And a traditional cold dark matter halo simply cannot produce that kind of sharp drop-off. You can't just trim the halo's edges to fix the numbers either. The moment you do, you break the gravitational balance in the inner galaxy. The math is unforgiving. So what substance could pack tightly at the center but thin out completely at the periphery? The fermionic dark matter model handles both problems with one elegant solution. Those fermions don't just huddle at the galactic center. They permeate the entire galaxy, but behave differently depending on local gravity. At the center, crushing pressure squeezes them into that ultra-dense core. Move outward, and they spread naturally into a diffuse halo, one that's far more compact than a traditional cold dark matter halo, hugging the galaxy tightly rather than billowing out indefinitely. When the galaxy ends, the dark matter ends with it. That sudden absence of gravitational support is exactly why the outer stars drop in speed so sharply. One substance, one continuous structure, no patchwork of separate theories. But didn't we actually see the black hole? Yeah, about that photo. In 2022, the Event Horizon Telescope released that iconic glowing ring with a dark center, and billions of people thought, case closed. The logic seemed airtight. Black holes trap light, surround one with glowing gas, and you get a bright ring with a dark shadow. Simple. But a fermionic core containing 4 million solar masses also creates an extreme gravitational well, and extreme gravity bends light. The research team ran simulations. They built a digital fermion core, spun glowing plasma around it, and tracked the light. The result was a dark central void surrounded by a bright emission ring, visually indistinguishable from the Event Horizon Telescope image. Because dark matter is transparent with no hard surface, infalling gas just spirals inward quietly, while deflected light clears out the center. The famous photo doesn't prove an event horizon exists. It just proves something enormously massive is packed into a very small space, which both a black hole and a fermionic core can achieve. So how do we tell them apart? One thing, the photon ring. Just outside a true black hole's event horizon, photons get trapped in a permanent circular orbit, producing a razor-sharp ring of light. If Sagittarius A star is a real black hole, that ring must exist. A fermionic core can't produce this, because the mass is spread across a physical volume rather than a singularity, so gravity never becomes steep enough to lock light into a stable loop. Right now, using the gravity instrument at the Very Large Telescope in Chile, which links multiple telescopes to create one enormous eye, astronomers are scanning the exact coordinates where a photon ring would have to be. The result is binary. Detect the ring, and the black hole model stands. Reach sufficient resolution and find nothing? Then the most famous black hole in the galaxy might not be a black hole at all, just a quantum object holding the entire Milky Way together through the stubborn refusal of particles to share their personal space.